We will see some problems on first module. Write the mesh equations for the circuit shown in figure and determine the mesh current using mesh analysis. Okay, here they have given one circuit and they are asking us to calculate the currents using mesh analysis. Okay, so you may see that in the given circuit. Okay, so there are three loops, 1 2 3 loops are present. Okay, so first condition in mesh analysis is we have to convert if any voltage sources are there, if any current sources are there, we have to convert it into voltage source so that it can be easy to apply the KVL, because we cannot apply KVL if there are current sources. But you may observe there is a current source here, so and there is a resistance in series with this, so we can convert this into a voltage source with a resistance in series. Okay, or we can apply the direct mesh analysis by using super mesh concept. Okay, so because here we have three loops, so let us apply a current to each mesh. So mesh 1 current I1, I2 and I3. Okay, so the current source will give us one equation. Our current source, wherever the current source is there, we have to calculate the current passing through this current source. What is the loop current passing through this current source? The loop current passing through this current source is I1, and the direction of this I1 is same as the direction of this 10 ampere. So for that reason I can take I1 is equal to 10 ampere. So I1 is equal to 10 ampere from the branch AH. Okay, next there are other branches present. You may have seen the other two branches are there. We will apply your mesh analysis for this branch. So before applying mesh analysis, we have to write plus minus, that is the direction of current. So you may observe that the direction of current here is, this is plus, means the current entering end we take it as plus and leaving end we have to take minus. Okay, here current entering end plus and here current entering end minus. Okay, so in I2 this is plus and this is minus, and here it is plus and minus, like this for all the resistances we have to take. Okay, so then we'll apply KVL for this loop. Second loop we will apply the KVL. So in order to apply the KVL for the second loop, okay, so what you know what is KVL? That is current into voltage we have to do. Okay, 1 minute. So we have to apply current into voltage. Okay, so the first we will start from B, C, F and G. So from B, C there is no element here. So in C, F there is one element called 2 ohm. Okay, so the voltage across this 2 ohm is current into voltage. So what are the current passing through this 2 ohm? Two currents are passing. One is I2 and another one is I1. So I2 is passing like this, plus 2 minus, and I1 is passing. If I am moving in this direction, in the direction of I2, so I2 direction is positive and I1 direction is I3 direction is negative. Okay, so here I can take the current passing through this as I2 minus I3. Okay, I can take this as current as I2 minus I3, the current passing through this. Okay, so here you may observe I am moving from positive to negative. Let us consider there convention, two convention we can use. If I am moving from plus to minus, I can take it as negative. Minus to plus, I can take it as positive, or vice versa. Means if I am moving from plus to minus, I may take it as positive. From minus to plus, if I am moving, then I can take it as negative. Okay, but problem here is, as per this textbook, they have taken like the convention that if they are moving from plus to minus, they are taking it as negative. Okay, so for that reason they are taking like this, minus 2 into I2, minus 2, plus to minus it is moving, so minus 2 into I2. There is another current present at 2 ohm, that is I3, and that I3 is having the direction minus 2 plus. So for that reason they have taken plus 2 into I3. Okay, plus 2 into I3. Two currents are there, so I have to take 2 times this resistance. Then the voltage source, plus 2 minus. Plus 2 minus means I have to take it as negative. Okay, negative, minus 10 ohm. Then I will come to this point. Here we have a plus to minus, and the current is I2. So I2 into, because plus 2 minus it is moving, I will take minus 3 into I2, minus 3 into I2, but here we have another current I1, so minus to plus, so I will take it as plus 3 into I1. You may observe 3 ohm I have taken 2 times because 2 currents are there at this 3 ohm. Okay, this equal, and minus 10 volt, this equal to 0. Okay, once again I repeat, here this is 2 ohm resistance, so it is present between 2 current sources. Okay, so I have to take this 2 ohm 2 times. So first plus 2 minus, this is because as per this textbook they have taken the convention plus 2 minus as negative, so minus 2 into I2, okay, plus 2 into I3, minus 10 volt, then plus minus 3 into I2 plus 3 into I1. Okay, this equal to 0. So one equation we got. After rearranging we got this value. Okay, so next we will apply KVL for second loop. We will apply KVL for second loop. So in this this equation they have substituted this I1 value, that is 10 ampere, they have substituted in this first equation, and after simplifying they got this answer. Okay, if it is there, if it is not there, no problem. Okay, so we can, if I1 is there, we have to substitute the value of I1 in the equation. See here there is an I1, so we substitute the value of I1, that is 10 ampere, and after calculating we get this answer. Next we are applying KVL for second loop. So while applying KVL for the second loop, once again we have taken the conventions. So we'll start from anywhere we can start. I am starting from here. Okay, from D I am starting. So plus 2 minus, because as per the convention of the textbook we can take it as negative, that is minus 3 into current I3, minus 3 I3, minus 2 plus, so plus 10 volt, plus 2 minus, so minus 2 into I3 plus 2 into I2, because here minus 2 plus is there, so 2 times I have to take 2, or you can take 2 into I3 minus I2. You can take 2 into your I3 minus of 2 into I3 minus I2 also we can take, or in other words 2 into I3 minus 2 into I3, because I am moving from minus plus 2 minus, plus 2 into I2, okay, equal to 0. So after placing all these things and substituting the value, we get 2I2 minus 5I3 is equal to 10. So we got two simultaneous equations. So we can solve these two simultaneous equations, so and we can get the answer. So you know how to solve the equations using Cramer's rule. So here we have to take two variables are there, I2 and I3. Okay, so we have to take the determinant. The value of I2 I have to put in one column, the value of I3 I have to put in another column. Okay, then minus 5 into minus 5, minus 2 into 2, means if we cross multiply, solve this determinant, we'll get this value 21. Okay, so D2 I want. So D2 means that is delta 2. Delta 2 means we have to replace here the first column by constant, because I want to here delta 1 I have to write actually. Let it be. Okay, here they have written it as D2. So they have to replace the first column by the constant. Here the constants are minus 20 and minus 10. So minus 20 and minus 10 they have written. Remaining 2 and minus 5 as it is. After simplifying we will get another delta value. Delta 3. So they are replacing the last column by the constant. So they got delta 3. Okay, after simplifying this one, in order to get I2, I have to write D2 by D. So that will give the value of I2. So because I2 is the variable present here in first place. So when we replace first column, we will get the value of I2. When replace the second column, we will get the value of this I3. So I3 is equal to D3 by D, which is equal to 4.257. So by simplifying, writing the answer once again, it is I1 is equal to 10 ampere, I2 is equal to 5.7142 ampere, and I3 is equal to 4.2857. Okay. Okay, we'll go for next problem. Find the current through 4 ohm resistor by using loop current method. So they have given a circuit and they are asking us to calculate the current through this 4 ampere resistance. Okay. Okay, so here we have impedances. You may see this J2 is an impedance, minus J2 is an impedance. Impedance means a combination of capacitance, resistance, everything. Okay, so they have given the value. So in the simple way, means like how we are applying for the resistance, in the same way we can apply for KVL for these things also. How many elements are there here? How many meshes are there? There are 3 meshes. We'll apply 3 loops for these meshes. See, mesh 1 for mesh 1, mesh 2 and mesh 3. Okay, so we'll apply KVL for first loop first. Okay, so plus minus, we have taken the convention because the current is I1, so current entering end we will take it as plus and leaving end as minus. So we have taken this one. Now we are applying KVL for the first loop. Okay, we'll start from any one point. Let us start from this point. So I got minus. As per the convention of this textbook, if I move from minus to plus, I will take it as positive. If I go from plus to minus, I will take it as negative. So I am moving from minus to plus. So 50 ohm with the angle 0 is taken as positive. So plus 50 with an angle 0, minus, because plus to minus I am moving, minus 5 into I1, minus 5 into I1. Next here, plus to minus as well as minus to plus both are present, because it is in the direction of I1. If I move, it is plus minus. If I move in the direction of I2, it is minus plus. Okay, so in this direction. So as per the loop 1, the current passing through J2 is I1 into J2. Because plus minus is there, I will take minus I1 into J2 and plus J2 into I2, because minus plus is there. So plus J2 into I2 equal to 0. So we will apply these things in the first line, minus 5I1 and other things, and after simplifying we get the loop. Okay, so next we will go for second loop. In second loop, this is the second loop. Here we have 4. Let us start from this point. Plus minus is there, so minus 4 into I2, minus 4 into I2. Okay, minus, here 2 currents are there, so minus J2, this is the resistance value, minus J2 into minus I2, or minus of I2 into minus J2, so it will become plus J2. Then minus of J2 into plus I3, plus I3. Okay, here minus I2, here plus I3. Okay, plus here minus I2 into minus J2, so it will get plus J2 into I2. Okay, I3 into minus J2, that will give us minus J2 into I3. Okay, equal to 0. So we get the second equations. So minus 4I2, minus I2 into minus J2 plus I3 into minus J2 minus J into 2I2 plus J into 2I1. So this resistance. Okay, so here while moving I2 in because plus 2 minus is there, minus I2 into J2 minus I2 into J2 plus I1 into J2, okay, is equal to 0. After simplifying, we get the second loop like this. Okay, so next next we will go for applying KVL to the third loop. Okay, while applying KVL to the third loop, you may observe here plus 2 minus is there, so I3 into minus 2 into I3, minus 2 plus is there, so plus 26.25 with an angle this thing. Okay, then plus 2 minus is there, 2 currents are there, plus 2 minus is there, so minus I3 into J2 plus I2 into minus J2. Okay, minus I3 into minus J2 plus I2 into minus J2 equal to 0. Okay, minus I3 into minus J2 plus I2 into minus J2 equal to 0. After simplifying, we get this third equation. So now we have all the 3 equations. Okay, so here you may observe there is some values, that is 26.25 with an angle is there. So this one we have to convert into what we call rectangular form. From it is in polar form, we have to convert it into rectangular form. Okay, for time being, let it be like this only. Okay, so what are the resistances are impedances present at I1. In I1 we have a resistance called 5 plus J2. In I2 we have J2 minus J2, and this is and I3 there is no I3, so we can take it as 0, and the constant is 50 with angle 0. So they have written the loop 5 plus J2 minus J2 0. So here J2 minus 4 J2, J2 minus 4 minus J2, and third one here we have J2 2 minus J2, and so there is no I2 term, I1 term is not there, so 0 into I1 plus J2 into I2 plus 2 minus J2 into I3. Okay, so we'll take all these things, and you know how to simplify by using Cramer's rule. We will simplify. If you don't know how to simplify, you can ask me, I will help you. Okay, so how to simplify this. So after simplifying, you will get this value. Okay, so now which current I want? We want the current through 4 ohm resistance. They have asked resist current through 4 ohm resistance. So what is the current through 4 ohm resistance in the given question? The current through 4 ohm resistance is only I2. So I2 is enough for me. So in order to calculate I2, so I will take D2. D2 means I replace the second column by constant. Okay, yeah, see what are the J minus J4 minus 4 J2 is there. I replace this one by constant. So constant of the three equations, that is 50 with angle 0 0 and the 26.25 with an angle 66. So now I will go for simplification. While simplifying, so you can put it in complex mode. In Calc, you know, there is a mode called complex mode. In that complex mode, you can multiply directly the rectangular form values with your these things. Okay, condition is instead of J2 you have to write it as 2J. Okay, and as it is you can put in the equation. Okay, afterwards you will get the value of D2. So we got the value of D2, or you can simplify manually. Okay, so it will hardly take 1 or 2 minutes. So after simplifying, we got that D2 value is equal to 0. In order to calculate the current I2 is given by this delta 2 divided by delta. So delta 2 value is 0. So delta 2 or D2 is equal to 0 divided by D is equal to this value. So 0 by anything is 0. So the current through this 4 ohm resistance is 0. Okay. So we'll go for next problem. Find the current I in 28 ohm resistor by using mesh analysis in the figure. Okay, find the current in I in 28 ohm. So this is the circuit. In this one we have to calculate this 28 ohm. So here we may observe we have this 2I is there. So this one there instead of value they have given some variable name. So this type of sources we call by the name as dependent sources, because the value of this source is somewhere else, like this what we call rhombus shape or square shape figure will be there. Okay, diagonal place will be replaced by the current source. Okay, so here we have to apply the KVL. So in order to apply the mesh analysis for these three meshes are there, we can apply the mesh analysis. Before applying the mesh analysis, okay, first we'll apply the mesh analysis. See, we have applied the mesh analysis here. 1 2 3 are there. Okay, so now if there is a current source, what is the current source present here? 12 ampere. So I have told you before, so if there is a current source, that through current source I can get, means I have to apply super mesh analysis. Super mesh analysis means, so for that current source, first I have to write this current source in terms of mesh currents. Okay, and we can remove that current source and apply the KVL. Okay, so after applying the equation to the mesh equations, after applying the equivalent equation, writing this equation, writing this current source in terms of mesh currents, after doing that one we can remove this current source here. Okay, if I remove this current source, this loop will be removed. Okay, so only two loops will be existing and we can apply the mesh analysis for this. Okay, so what is the current flowing through this 12 ampere? The current flowing through this 12 ampere is I1, and the direction of this current is same as this I1. Okay, So I can see, if you rotate, you'll get see that the direction of this I1 is same as this 12 ampere current. So I can write directly I1 is equal to 12 ampere. Okay, next I want 2 into I. Okay, this is a current source. I can remove this current source also. So 2I equals, so what is the current flowing through this? You may see the direction of I3. The direction of I3 is same as 2I, and the direction of I2 is also same as your 2I. See, two directions are also same. So I3 direction is also same, and your I2 direction also same. Here they have taken the direction like this. You may take in opposite direction, no problem. Okay, so here they have taken the direction, these two directions they have taken like this, and this direction they have taken like this. It doesn't make any change. You can take however you want. Okay, here as per the textbook, because I am explaining through textbook, so as per the textbook they have taken the direction like this. So different direction to these two they have taken, let it be. So you may observe that the current flowing through this 2I, the 2I value current source is having a value equal to I3 minus I3 and I2, both are in the same direction. I will take it as I3 plus I2. Okay, 2I can be written as I3 plus I2. Okay, so here you may see that it is 2I is equal to I2 plus I3. Okay, but we have to see what is this I1. So in order to know the value of I1, we'll go here. They have given the hint that what is this I1 is. So you may see that the I1 is nothing but the current through this 28 ohm. So what is the current I1 here? Two things are there. The direction also they have mentioned. It is going like this. So here two currents are there. Either I have to take I1 minus I2, because the direction of I1 and I2 are opposite here. So I1 minus I2. Why I have to take I1 minus I2? Because the direction is like this. The direction of this I is same as this I1 and opposite to the direction of I2. So the value of I is equal to I1 minus I2. Okay, so here I have taken the value I2 minus this I is equal to your I1, it is I1 minus I2. You know the value of I1, that is 12 amperes. So they have written 12 minus I2. It is I1 minus I2 and it is 12 minus I2. Then substitute these things, you get the equation 24 is equal to 3I2 plus I3. Okay, now we have to remove this current source. So after removing the current source, so you will get only one loop. Only one loop is available. Now apply KVL for this loop. If I apply KVL for this loop, here okay, minus 2 plus, we'll take it as positive. Okay, minus 2 plus, if we take it as positive, plus I3 into 4. Okay, then my plus 2 minus is there, so minus I2 into 8. Then plus 2 minus is there, so minus I2 into 28 plus I1 into 28, because two currents are there and the directions are opposite. So here I can take I2 into minus I2 into 28 plus I1 into 28. Okay, then this I have taken already this 4 ohm equal to 0. So we get a bigger loop. We have to take G, H, C, D, E, B, G. Okay, so G, H, C, D, E, B, G. So this bigger loop, if I apply the KVL, so we'll get this third equation. After getting this equation and simplifying, we got the third equation. Okay, so here we got two equations. Now if we solve these two simultaneous equations somehow, however you want, using Cal-C directly you can do by going for variables, or you can use the Cramer's rule. After solving them, we'll get the value of I2 and I3. So they are asking us to calculate the current through this 28 ohm. The current through this 28 ohm is I1 minus I2 or I2 minus I1. Okay, so we take the we'll subtract the value here. I1 minus I2 they have written, that is 12 minus I2, and after simplifying we get the value of 5.33 ampere. So find the voltage across resistance R in the network by using mesh analysis. Okay, so they are asking us to calculate the value of R. Find the voltage across this resistance R. What is this resistance R? They have given the value, that is 2 ohm. So instead of telling from where, because many 2 ohms are there, so we may get confused. So for that reason they have given it as R, resistance voltage across the resistance R. If I want to know voltage, I want to know the current. If I know current, I can calculate the voltage across this resistance R or this 2 ohm resistance. Okay, so we'll apply the KVL for the loop. So we have applied the KVL. So this is I1, I2 and I3, three current sources we have taken, and we applied the KVL. There is no current sources, directly we can apply. So apply the mesh analysis. Minus to plus convention as positive, plus to minus convention as negative. So minus to plus 5 volt, plus 5 volt, minus I1 into 10 ohm. Okay, here minus 2 into I1 plus 2 into I2, because the polarities are different. Okay, equal to 0. This will give us first equation. Similarly for the second equation, minus I2 into 10. Okay, then minus 2 into I2 plus 2 into I3 minus I2 into 20 or 20 into I2. Then here minus 2 into I2 plus 2 into I1 equal to 0. Okay, this will give us second equation. In third equation, you may take plus 2 minus s. So here minus 10 into I3 minus the minus 2 plus is there, so plus 10 volt. Okay, plus 2 minus, so we can take it as here 2 into I3 minus minus 2 into I3 plus 2 into I2 equal to 0. That will give us three equations, and after solving we get the value of like this. So we got three equations, minus 2 into I1 plus 2 into I2 is equal to this thing. So after solving these three simultaneous equations, we get the value of I1, I2 and I3. So they are asking us to calculate the current through this R resistance. Where this R resistance is present, it is present here. So here the current may be either I2 minus I3, because the current through this R is two currents are flowing. Okay, both are in opposite direction. Either I can take I2 minus I3 or I can take I3 minus I2. So which is bigger, I have to see. In this one I3 is bigger, so I will take I3 minus I2, and we tell that the direction of current is same as the direction of I3. So this is the direction of current in which our voltage, this one, is present. Okay, so voltage across this can be written as current into resistance, that is I into R, which is equal to 5.416. Okay, we'll go for next question. Find Ix and Vx for the circuit shown in figure by using mesh analysis. This is a typical question. Okay, very many times they have asked it in exam, but it is typical question. Okay, somewhat different. So now we have to calculate the current through this Ix, this current through this 10 ohm, that is Ix, and the current voltage Vx. Okay, so first we will consider how many loops are there, how many closed circuits. You may see there are only two closed circuits present. Okay, any current sources are there? Yes, there is a current source here, two current sources are there. Okay, and dependent voltage sources are also present. So first I will take the first current source. The current source present here is I1. You may see that the direction of this 3 ampere is opposite to the direction of I1. So I will take it as I1 is equal to minus 3 ampere. Okay, so I remove this resistor. I can remove this current source. If I remove this current source, what happens? So this loop will be removed. Okay, no need to apply the KVL for this loop, because this loop itself will go out. So now we'll go for another current source. There is a current source present here. So the current source value is Vx by 4. So Vx by 4 is there, and the value of this Vx by 4 is equal to I2. So the value of I2 is equal to Vx by 4. See, the value of I2 is equal to Vx by 4. Okay. Now, but I want to know the value of Vx. We don't know what is the value of Vx. So here there is Vx, and the value of Vx is two currents are passing through this Vx. This is one is I1 and another one is I2. So if we consider this plus minus as the convention of Vx, then the current passing through this Vx is I1 minus I2. Okay, I1 minus I2, if I consider this plus as upper end as plus and lower end as minus, so the current passing through this one I can take it as I1 minus I2. Okay, as per the convention. So while applying KVL, I will take plus 2 minus as negative, that is different. Okay, so I can take it as I1 minus I2 or I2 minus I1. Let us consider the convention plus minus, so I will take it as I1 minus I2 voltage. Okay, so we replace this, see, I1 minus I2, they one I1 into 1 minus I2 into this, they have written, so current into voltage, so I1 into 1 minus I2 into 1, so I1 minus I2 into 1 is the voltage across Vx. Now we will put this Vx in the given equation, we will put this Vx in the given equation. Okay, and simplify. We just simplified this one, so Vx value, we know that I1 value is equal to minus 3 amperes. We don't know the value of I2 value is nothing but Vx by 4. Okay, so after simplifying for the Vx, we'll get the value of Vx is equal to minus 2.4 volt. Okay, see, we have not applied the KVL at all. So by only taking this mesh current, so this mesh current have given I1 and another mesh current has given us what we call super mesh, that is a current source have given the value of I1, another current source in the circuit have given the value of I2. By solving this one, we got the value, final value, that is Vx is equal to minus 2.4 volt. We'll go for next problem. Determine the current through load resistance R for the network shown in figure using mesh method. So here they have given a circuit and they are asking us to calculate the voltage across the resistance, current across the resistance R. Here is the resistance R and they are asking us to calculate the current through this. So how many loops are there? We have 3 loops. We'll apply the mesh analysis for these 3 loops. Okay. After applying mesh analysis to these 3 loops, here we have a super mesh, that is a current source. So this current source will give us one current. It is similar to the direction of I1. So I will take I1 is equal to one current I got, I1 is equal to 1 ampere. Okay, so we got a value of I1. So I1 is equal to 1 ampere, one current source over. Next, one equation over. We'll have to apply the KVL for other 2 loops. We'll apply the KVL for this plus to minus. So here the current minus I2 into, so I2 into minus of minus J2 or minus I2 into minus J2 ohm. Here minus I2, because plus to minus I am moving, so minus I2 into 2 ohm plus I3 into 2 ohm, then plus minus I2 into J1 ohm and plus I1 into J1 ohm, then minus I2 into 1 ohm plus I1 into 1 ohm equal to 0. Okay, so we got one equation. See, and see, after simplifying we get this thing. So now we apply KVL for last loop, that is here plus 2 minus is there, I3 into minus I3 into 1 ohm minus I3 into 2 ohm plus I2 into 2 ohm is equal to 0. Okay, so we got another convention. So we should not forget, here in this textbook they have given the convention. If I am moving from plus to minus, that current or that voltage they have taken as negative. So for that reason I am multiplying minus with minus first. So minus I3 into 2 ohm plus I2 into 2 ohm, because here it is moving from minus to plus. Okay, after applying the KVL, we get 2 equations. These 2 equations can be written in determinant form as delta is equal to 3 minus 3 is there, then 2 minus 3 2. In second equation 2 and minus 3 is there, 2 and minus 3. Yeah, for time being don't use the constant. Okay, so the delta is there. So which current they are asking us to calculate? Current through R1, R resistance. The current through R resistance is I3. So I3 means in the equation where the I3 is present, it is in the second column. So I have to replace this second column by the constant. So for that reason D3 they have named it. So they have to replace the second column by constant. They have but the constant here is 1 plus j, and here in second equation it is 0. So after simplifying we get this. So I3 value is given by D3 by D, and we got this final answer. Okay. Okay. Solve for I0 of t using the mesh analysis in the circuit, a network shown in figure. So they have given the network and they are asking us to calculate the current through this I0. Okay, how many meshes are there? Two meshes are there. Okay, we will apply the two mesh currents to this. See, we have applied two mesh currents. Okay, so here they have taken the meshes for in order to indicate that we can take mesh like this also. They have, in this problem they have taken the mesh in this direction. Okay, we can take the meshes, two meshes separately if you want. Means here one mesh, here one mesh, we can take it. Okay, so because I am explaining as per the textbook, so let us take the current direction similarly. There is no any current source present. Okay, we'll apply the KVL. So one thing here is they have not given the value of this one. They have given us 10 root 2 cos 2t is there, and 5 root 6 root 2 sin 2t. So we don't know the phase and angle. Okay, so in order to calculate phase as well as the voltage of this one, we have to go for this. The RMS voltage is given by the formula Vm by root 2. So Vm here is 10 root 2 is there, divided by root 2 if I do, we will get it as 10 volt. Okay, and frequency 2 radians per second. Okay, next we want the phase between this and this. Okay, two things are there. So here cos theta can be written as cos 9. Here cos theta is having a value called 90 degree phase shift. There is an angle between cos and sin, it is 90 degree. So here they have mentioned, see, V1 is equal to 10 root 2 cos 2t. So 10 root 2 as it is, cos 2t can be written as sin 2t plus 90 degree. Okay, so that is sin of omega t plus 5. Okay, so Vm1 is nothing but 10 root 2 and Vm RMS is equal to Vm by, okay, so Vm is equal to 10 root 2 cos 2t is there. So for that reason we have written 10 root 2 sin 2t plus 90 degree, and this can be written like this. Here the phase angle with sin is phi 1, so I can write it as V1 is equal to 10 root 10 because Vrms can be written as Vm by root 2. So Vm by root 2, Vm is equal to 10 root 2. So after simplifying we get 10 volt. So 10 with an angle 90 degree. Okay, after simplification it looks like this. Next, V2, the voltage present here, it is already in sign. Okay, the sign plus 0 I can write. So just I will take Vm here. So I can take it as Vm by root 2. V2 is equal to Vm by root 2. Okay, if I take Vm by root 2, we'll get it as 6 volt. So the value of V2 is equal to 6 volt with an angle 0. So this is 6 volt with an angle 0. Now two things are ready, and now we have to apply the mesh analysis. Okay, here they have taken for small mesh also we can apply. Okay, we can apply two different meshes. Here they have taken one mesh and one bigger mesh. Okay, so like that also we can apply. For here they have written like this. Okay, now let us apply the KVL for this small mesh. So 4 into the current flowing through this one, they have written it as I2 I0. Okay, minus 4 into I0 minus 4 into, so here instead of I1 and I2 they have written as I0 and I1. Okay, so 4 into I0 minus 4 into I1. So regular KVL they have applied. Okay, minus 4 because they are considering the current here also, and here two currents they have, means for this small mesh they have taken the current as I0, and for this big mesh they have taken the current as I1. So this 4 ohm has two currents, one is I0 as well as this I1. Okay, so minus 4 into I0 minus 4 into I1 minus the current flowing through this 12 ohm 2 ohm, that is I0 into minus J2, and plus minus is there, so I will take it as minus J2 into I0 plus 10 into root 2 plus 10 into, from because I am moving from minus to plus, so for that reason plus 10 into 90 degree equal to 0. Okay, so now we'll apply KVL for second loop. After simplifying, we got the equation like this. Now we apply the KVL for second loop. So in second loop also we can write minus 4 into I naught minus 4 into I1. Okay, minus 4 into I1 minus 4 into I naught. Then here we have a current. This is I1 into minus I1 into J4. Okay, minus 6 ohm, 6 volt. Okay, plus 10 with an angle 90 is equal to 0. So after applying and simplifying, we got this equation. Okay, so now we got two equations. Simplify these two equations. Okay, delta we will calculate first. So delta is given by these things. Okay, so they have taken the constants of I naught and as column 1, constant of I1 they have taken as column 2, and okay, then after simplifying we got the value as 11.317 with an angle 135.0. Okay, so here we want I naught. I naught is present in the first part of the equation, so delta 1 they have written as, so in the place of first column I have to replace it by the constants. After replacing the first column by the constant and simplifying, we'll get the value of delta 1. So after getting delta 1 and delta, so I naught can be written as delta 1 divided by delta, so that will give the value of your I naught. Okay, so we got the value of I naught. If I want to write this I naught in terms of sine and cos, so we can write this is VRMS. In order to know VM, we know that VM is equal to VRMS into root 2, because VRMS is equal to VM by root 2, right, or IRMS is equal to IM by root 2. So if I want IM is equal to root 2 into IRMS. So after simplifying we get the value of IM, and phase they have given 130 degree, 135 degree. So this can be written as sin as 2 sin 2t plus 135 degree into, so 2 sin 2t plus 135 is the final answer of the given. Okay, we'll go for next problem. For the network shown in figure, find the current through 4 ohm and 6 ohm resistor. Okay, they are asking us to calculate the current through 4 ohm and the current through 6 ohm resistor. Here we have 3 loops, so we apply the 3 currents for this one I1, for this small I2, and the third one I3. See, I1, I2 and I3. Okay, so first thing we have to search any meshes, what we call super mesh, or current source is present. Here you may see there is a current source present, so this current source will give us one equation. What are the current passing through this current source? One is I2 and I3. You may see that the direction of I2 is same as the direction of your current source, and the direction of I3 is opposite to the direction of current source. So when it travels like this, the direction is opposite. So I can take it as I2 minus I3. So this 0.5 V1 is equal to I2 minus V3. So what is this V1? V1 is nothing but the voltage across, as per the question, the voltage across this 2 ohm resistance. Okay, so because it is the voltage across 2 ohm resistance here is there. So what is the voltage across this 2 ohm resistance? 2 current sources are there, so that current into voltage, the current passing through this 2 ohm resistor is, one is I1, another one is I3. I can take it as I1 minus I3 or I3 minus I1, but they have written this as positive and this as negative in the question. So for that reason we will take the convention above is positive and below is negative. So the current flowing through this one is I1 minus I3. So I will take the voltage across this one as I1 minus I3 into 2 ohm, because voltage they have given. The voltage is given by I into R. So I1 minus I3 into 2 ohm. Okay, so that is V1. So now we will put this V1 in the above equation. We will get another one equation. Okay. Next, we will apply the KVL for the remaining loops. We apply the KVL for this loop, that is minus 14 into I1 minus 4 into I1. Okay, minus I1 into 2 plus I3 into 2. Okay, plus 110 volt is equal to 0. This will get we will get another one equation. So we'll apply KVL for this loop. After removing this current source, so we'll take the path, okay, other than this, that is 10 into I2 minus 10 into I2 minus 10 into I2, then minus I3 into 6, okay, minus I3 into 2 plus I1 into 2, because there are two currents present here, equal to 0. Okay, so after simplifying we get these things. I think you know how to simplify the equations. So after simplifying we'll get the value of I1, I2, I3. The current flowing through this 4 ohm resistance is I1. So the current flowing through 4 ohm is 5 ampere, and the current flowing through the value of this 6 ohm is I3. So it is I3 is equal to minus 5 ampere. So minus 5 ampere we got in the answer. Okay, so we have to write like this to indicate that the direction is like this. In this direction the current is moving. Okay, so minus we got because we have assumed that the current is flowing from plus to minus like this, but if we calculate like that we got the value of minus 5 ampere. Okay, so minus indicate the assumed direction is opposite to the one what we have assumed. Okay, so we'll go for next problem. In this problem, find the current through 2 ohm resistor by using mesh analysis. So easily we can calculate this. So here also we got one current source, so we'll apply mesh analysis for this. So after applying mesh analysis we have the two current sources here, I2 and I3. So this we can write I2 minus the direction of the current is like this, so I can take it as I3 minus I2 is equal to 4 ampere. See, the direction of 4 ampere is in the direction of I3 and opposite to the direction of I2. So we can take it as I1 I minus I2 plus I3, or I3 minus I2 is equal to 4 ampere. Okay, we got one equation. Apply KVL for each loop. So if I apply KVL for this loop, we have minus I1 into I1, minus I1 into 1, minus I1 into 2 plus 2 into I2 minus plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, we got this equation. If I apply KVL, say after removing this current source we get this bigger one. So apply KVL for this loop. The current flowing through this is I2, so I can write it as minus I2 into 1, then minus I3 into 2, okay, minus 2I1, okay, then this, after traveling here we have minus I2 into 2 plus I1 into 2 equal to 0. Okay, because here two currents are there. Minus I2 into 2 plus I1 into 2 equal to 0. After applying KVL we get the value of current, and they are asking what is the current through 2 ohm. It is the current through 2 ohm here. The current through 2 ohm is I3, so I3 value you have to write in the answer. The value of the current through the middle 2 ohm resistance is I3. Okay, here I3 is 2.4 ampere current through 2 ohm resistance. Okay, this middle 2 ohm they are asking. The current through this 2 ohm resistance is I1 minus I2. So as per the direction, so I1 value is this and I2 is this. After simplifying we'll get the value from this one. Okay, next problem. Assume the mesh current as shown in the figure. So this circuit they have given. Okay, and they are asking us to calculate the current through, not current, they are asking us to calculate V2 resistance. In the circuit shown in figure, determine V2 using in this circuit. Okay, using mesh analysis. In this how many meshes are there? There are 3 meshes. We will apply 3 mesh currents, I1 current here, I2 and I3. Okay, so as per the previous problem, they would have given the value of voltage source, but here they have not given the value of the voltage source. Instead they have told that the current through this 4 ohm resistance is 0. The current through this 4 ohm resistance is I2 is equal to 0. So I2 is equal to 0. So we will apply the mesh analysis regularly. In the regular fashion we will apply the mesh analysis. After applying the mesh analysis, what we'll do is we'll put I2 is equal this I2 value equal to 0. After placing I2 is equal to 0, we'll get the value of V2. Okay, so if you don't understand, you can check it once again. If you don't understand, you can contact me. Okay, next. So using mesh analysis, find the current through this 10 ohm resistance. So it is also a simple circuit. Here they have given many dependent sources. So they have given Ix, Iy and other things. First we have to assume the mesh currents here. I1, this is my current I1 and this is mesh current I2. So where is Ix? So this is Ix. The current Ix is nothing but I2. Wherever Ix is there, replace Ix by I2. Okay. So let's see where is Iy. Iy is here. Iy is nothing but the current I1. Wherever Iy is there, you replace Iy by a value I1. Okay. So Iy is equal to I1 and Ix is equal to I2. So by substituting this one and simplifying, we get two equations, and solving these two equations we can get the value of other thing, and finally we can calculate the current through this 10 ohm. The current through this 10 ohm is I1 minus I2. So I1 minus I2, after simplification we'll get the answer. Okay, so this not required. For the network shown in figure, find the power supplied by 10 ohm source using mesh current analysis. So this is the mesh current analysis they are given, and they are asking us to calculate the power supplied by this 10 ohm source using mesh current analysis. Okay, so we'll apply loop to this one. How many loops are there? 1, 2, 3 loops are there. We'll apply the 3 mesh currents. So here 1, 2, 3. So you may see there is a current source present that will give us one equation, that is I1 is equal to 1 ampere. We got one equation, I1 is equal to 1 ampere. So there is another one current source, so that will also give us one equation. So here the current through this one is I3 minus I1, because in the direction of I3 it is there. So I3 minus I1 is equal to Vx by 5. I3 minus I1 is equal to Vx by 5, and this Vx, we'll see where this Vx is. Vx is present here. So what is the Vx? Vx is nothing but the voltage from 4 ohm. So the direction of this 4 ohm, the current plus minus they have mentioned. So the current direction is I3 minus I2. The direction here is I3 minus I2, because they have given the direction like this. So we have to assume the same direction, that is I3 minus I2 into 4 ohm. I3 minus I2 into 4 ohm. Okay, after simplifying we got this value. Okay, so I3 minus I2 into 4. Okay, after simplifying we got the value of Vx, and we have to place this Vx in the above equation, and after simplifying we got the second equation. Two equations over. Now we have to apply the KVL for the third equation. So we apply the KVL for the third loop. After applying the KVL for the third loop, okay, that is 5 ohm, that is minus I2 into 5 ohm, then minus 4 into I2 plus I4 into I3 minus 2 into I2 plus I1 into 2 equal to 0. Okay, so after applying KVL for the third loop we got the equation, the third equation. Simplify them. After simplifying we got the value of I1, I2 and I3. So what they have asked, they are asking us to calculate the power through this 10 volt. So we know that formula for power is P is equal to V into I, or I square into R, or V square by R. So because this is voltage source, the current or power through this voltage source is given by P is equal to V into I. V is 10 volt and I3 is the current which is passing through this 10 ohm. So V is equal to 10 into I3. So this is the power supplied to this 10 ohm resistance. Okay, so this is, we have already solved similar problem. Okay, here find the power delivered by the dependent voltage source in the circuit shown in figure. Same thing. Okay, so how many meshes are there here? 3 meshes. Apply the KVL for the 3 meshes. Okay, so here if I apply the KVL for these 3 meshes, you may see these 3 meshes. For this is one equation we will get, for second we get another equation, for third we will get another equation. Here the value is 10 Ia, so we have to search for Ia. Here there is Ia. Ia is nothing but the current flowing through this 50 ohm in this direction. In this direction means I2 minus I3 I have to take, because the direction is same as I2 and opposite to the direction of I3. So I have to take IA is equal to I2 minus I3, means 10 IA should be replaced by 10 into I2 minus I3. Rest all remains same. Okay, after solving them, so they are asking us to calculate which is the dependent source present here. So these are all independent source, means direct voltage value is there, so we call it as independent source. Here this depend on some value IA. Okay, so for that reason we call it as a dependent source. We calculate the power through this determine what we call power through this source. Okay, so first we have to calculate IA value we got, that will give us the voltage across this 10 into IA. Okay, so 10 IA we calculated, and then we have written 10 IA. So after taking 10 IA into 2, the IA value is I2 minus I3. The current flowing through this voltage source is I2. So 10 IA into I2 will give the power through this dependent source. So 10 IA into I2 will give the power through this source. So after multiplying we got this answer. Okay, hope you understood.